Broken windows in our broken homes. Can't you see? You should never come too close. Believe me, 'cause I know on the level with you. If you think that you can handle this, then you better know you're messing with savages, savages, we're savages. If you think that you can handle this, you gotta know who you've been messing with. Savages, savages, we're savages. Yeah! If you think that you can handle this, then you better know you're messing with savages, savages, we're savages. If you think that you can handle this, you gotta know who you've been messing with. Savages, savages, we're savages. Can you handle this? We're savages. Can you handle this? We're savages.
Happy Veterans Day. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange podcast, the only podcast you need to know about everything Bella Vista and beyond. We had one heck of a marathon week this week, so we are simulcasting on YouTube and Facebook, trying to get some information out. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, buddy,
Hey,
how's
hey.
it going?
I'm doing great, except for this cold weather, buddy. I always get that 75, 80 degree weather, man, and it just came in. It was
Oh, I
brutal.
know. Yeah, it cooled off real quick.
I was getting spoiled. So I have that little hangover from Tuesday night, man, that almost 4 hour run we made on Facebook Live, you know? So
Well, you know, we were trying to just like I was so hopeful that the information would have come out earlier than that, but you know, we stuck it out till we got some data in. We ended up making a phone call to the election commission asking like, where the heck's the ballot boxes? Where's the results? Something, right? It
Yeah.
appears that they held up the overall results for 2 locations. If you missed our live or if you went to bed and then said, you know what, I'll figure it out in the morning. If there was 2 locations, one out in the Highlands, that was a polling location, and then one that was in Centerton, that they were waiting on the ballot boxes and to be brought to the election commission so that they could tally up the votes. And those showed up approximately what, Mark, 3 hours after the polling locations closed, something like that.
Oh yeah, at least 3 hours, maybe a little bit more. I had a discussion with one of the gals down there, and they didn't give me an answer. So I'll call them Monday and try to get some more answers to the reason what happened, because there were several polling places in Bella Vista that didn't have any issues. I just find it a little odd in this day and age with everything going on with stuffing and ballot box.
Election integrity, basically.
Yeah, the lack of integrity. It has me really concerned. And I would have thought that the commission would have put out a statement or something like that. But I'd like to know why they were delayed like they were, because nobody else had the issue. New Life Christian didn't have the issue. The other polling places didn't have any issues. So
Right.
why those two in particular?
I don't know, man. I mean, that is something that I think that needs to be answered. I mean, out of just the sheer principles of being transparent with anybody who asks a question. Why did this take so long to go in? Why did you hold up the results? Because you could have posted. I mean, the way that the county website's set up for the results, they had posted absentee voters that it came in and early. Like they could be posting that early voting and absentee information, and then when polling locations come in, update those numbers to reflect it. But for some reason, they don't do that. We're living in a modern time, man, where you can find out what's going on across the globe in a matter of minutes. But yet our election systems as a whole, and then some of these really weird arbitrary rules, about the 50% plus one or the spread of 20%, that stuff is just kind of, I mean, man, talk about just creating more havoc and potential for somebody to get elected that isn't really, wasn't elected by the majority of the people, right?
Well, how about more cost? More costs
on
involved.
top of that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
before we go in, this is one of our major topics that we're going to talk about. We are going to have a short show tonight. We're going to regroup and we're going to start lining up stuff for this runoff that's going to be happening in a couple of weeks. So we're going to have a short show tonight. Before we get into the topic as a whole, go ahead and stick with our normal format. Tell us what's coming down the pipe in the near future in Bella Vista.
Yeah, just a reminder for everybody, the city offices, Thanksgiving falls on the 24th, so that the offices will be closed in the 24th and Black Friday, the 25th. So if you have any business to do with the city of Bella Vista, do it prior to that. Again, you mentioned at the top of the show, thank you to all the veterans out there. Hopefully people got out and had their breakfasts and lunches and dinners. I know Randy Murray posted something about Dairy Queen out there, and I know you were talking about a few other restaurants. Oh, the
Bella Vista, the Bella Vista Bar and Grill, the Highlands Pub, and Lake Point were offering a free meal for veterans as well. And then I got a letter from Lowe's, thanking me for my service, but reminding me that 10% off is year round with them. So a nice reminder, like if you need to buy something to work on the house or work in the yard, get that 10%, save your state taxes.
Yeah, for sure. That's a nice thing to do. So just a reminder, we talked before about the city council work session. It's already here, man. I told you it's right around the corner. So Monday, 11/14, 5:30 p.m. So get on out there, listen to what they're up to, and you gotta listen closely, and please make sure you stay to the end. You don't want an audible pulled again on us like we had before. So
yes, yeah, I know.
So the following week, you get the regular city council regular meeting, the 21st at 6:30. Same location, 612 West Lincolnshire Boulevard, over by the courthouses. So if anybody missed it before, the short-term rentals and what have you has been put on ice until January. So, we're glad about that.
We hope, right? I mean, because any one of these councilmen can make a motion to do something, and they're going to try it. I mean, I think they need to pump the brakes, like we said originally. Wait till we get new leadership in. It's right around the corner, man.
Yeah,
let's get new leadership in, get new city council members in, and find a common sense approach to all of this with the SDRs.
Yeah, for sure. Every time I look at this 10 box, I don't think they can outdo themselves and everybody else, but they do, man. They just continue to double down. T-bone steaks, man. $4 a pound. I mean, it's craziness. So Get out and get some T-bones, man. Boneless pork loins, 162 a pound. Bone-in turkey breast. Put some in the freezer, man.
Yeah.
Go with a turkey breast instead of a turkey for Thanksgiving. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
there's so much turkey like left over, man. People are like, "Oh man, I gotta eat turkey for like 4 days after Thanksgiving." This is the way to do it: is turkey breasts.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I eat everything, man. The dark meat, the light meat,
Me too.
all everything. So my kids don't. They like the breast meat. So
I like the. I'm more of a dark meat man. So
yeah,
but that's
yeah.
me.
Yeah, for sure. 73.27 ground beef, $1.75 a pound. And with your T-bone steaks, they're going to throw in some Idaho potatoes at 66 cents a pound, man. I mean, it's nuts. I
And
just
then
stocked up
you've got your ham, your bone-in shank
yeah,
ham
yeah.
as well, $1.58,
Yeah.
a pound. And I mean, dude, ham is kind of a staple during the holidays, man. So
Yeah. So what I usually do, I don't know what you do. I do. Some people do it different, but Thanksgiving I've always had turkey, and Christmas is usually ham for us, and New Year's we usually do a roast or something like that.
yeah.
Some people do turkeys for Christmas, but I like turkey for Thanksgiving, man. I like turkey in general.
Same here.
It's a nice time
I
of
don't have
year
a
to have
problem
it.
with it. If you actually think about it, you're like, you eat turkey definitely for Thanksgiving, but then you're like, why don't we have turkey more often? Like throughout the year.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what I usually do, because most stores sell them as loss leaders, they put money against them to bring in people to buy, the potatoes and the stuffing and the pies and the beer and everything else that's involved with it. So it's a good time to stock a couple extra of them hens or toms in your freezer, man, and have them all the way into January or February.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So-
box 10, man. Frugal Fridays, baby. They keep on beating themselves, man. Them T-bones, man. They just look so good.
Yeah. I mean, the freezer's starting to fill up, man. I got that last pork butt. We got a couple of those.
Yeah.
I got some. I made some chops, pork chops, and some country style ribs. So I think I'm gonna grab some T-bones too, man. I mean, it doesn't stop, man. It's
Yeah,
like
we
the gift that keeps on
defrosted some
giving.
of that pulled pork that I did from the two butts that you got a few
yeah.
weeks ago, man. We defrosted some tonight, man. Be eating on that for a few days, man, and still got
Yeah.
more in the freezer that's ready just to defrost. It's already smoked and good flavor, man. Everything, So
Yeah, it's good
Easy
too when you
meal.
have your kids playing soccer and stuff, and you're in a rush and you want something to eat that's good and not eating garbage. So
Right.
that's nice to have, no
Yeah.
doubt. What do you guys make, like fajitas and stuff with it, or
Dude, we did I call them Idaho pigs.
what are those?
Basically a baked potato with some
put on
butter
inside
and
it?
some salt and pepper and cheese, and then you slather on the pulled pork with some barbecue sauce, and that's a
Oh, it's
meal in
good,
its
man.
own, man.
Yeah.
So good
That
stuff.
sounds good, man.
Yeah, easy meal too, man. Doesn't take long with the doing a baked potato, and you just slather on the meat and everything else you want on it, man, and just go to town. Easy.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, what do you want to get into? That's it.
Well, we are calling this a short show, so we will forego our break, and we will go right into topics of discussion. So, the recap of the mayoral and city council races. I believe every one of these has gone to a runoff for Bella Vistas. You
Yep.
thought it was over with, but it's not. Not
you
by
realize
far.
we're carrying this in through Thanksgiving in the
I
beginning.
know, man. We
of
thought politics
December.
were going to be over with, and we were going to be able to just go into the holidays and know where we would stand, come the new year. Nope. So basically, the runoff is going to be between the top two candidates. So the two people who got the most votes are going to go into runoff, and that's going to happen. Give me the date off. It's December 6th.
is going to be the runoff election. I'm still waiting to hear Chris back verified early runoff election dates and locations. So
Okay.
the commission or the office wasn't open today. The county office wasn't open today because of the holiday. So
Right.
I will give them a shout Monday and try to figure out what they're going to do as far as what days and where the locations are.
So the mayoral candidates will be Randy Murray and Councilman John Flynn for the runoff. If we look at the numbers that they received on election night, November 8th, Randy Murray got a total of 6,173. These are unofficial. Like I said, this stuff hasn't been certified by the county yet. I don't know why. It's been a few days. But 6,173 for Randy Murray, 4,413 for Councilman Flynn. So roughly 44% of the total vote. Total votes cast in this election was 13,884. The next one we have will be Donna Hutchinson, who received 4,613. This is for Ward 1, Position 2, which is roughly 38% of the vote. And Wendy Hughes, 3,079 with 25% of the vote. So those two will be in the runoff. It looks like
1, Position 2. Yeah.
Yep. Councilman Larry Wilms pulled in a awesome 4,651 votes, and Wynn Peterson came in with 4,139 votes. So it's 41% and 36.5% of the total votes. So those two will be in the runoff. And then we have the last position, which is Ward 3, Position 2. And that looks like Julie Yandell. And now this one, I don't know if this one's going to go to a runoff. I obviously would have to wait for certification. But if we're looking at the 20% spread, 46.64
20.5, yeah,
and
20.5
and 26.14%. That's definitely
over.
I'm not sure that one will go to a runoff. Obviously, we'll have to wait.
Oh no,
and
it
see.
isn't. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was looking at Richard Taylor. Yeah, it's not enough for the 20%.
Oh yeah, 27 and 46. Man, it's just shy of it though, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, So that one, but again, once this stuff's certified, they could have some numbers change. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. We'll just have to prepare for it. And so that will be Julie Andell and Craig Honchell, which we interviewed all of these candidates that are going into the runoff. So go back to our Facebook page, find that interview, and I guess we need to discuss: are we going to go ahead and re-interview some of these candidates for the runoff? That's a question, I guess, that me and you will have to deliberate and find out their availability, because they are still hot on the campaign trail. But I've seen the rumor mill running live, man, on Nextdoor app and Facebook and man,
People
I'm telling you, some of these
propaganda.
groups, they're running like. One of the concerns was, I can't in good faith vote for a guy who'll put his business before the city. I'm like, you do realize that there's acquisition regulations that you have to follow and ethical standards. And if you have a financial interest in something, you basically have to recuse yourself from that decision-making process altogether, because it's a direct conflict of interest, which you have a potential financial gain out of it. It's illegal, man. So like, people are putting out these little fear things, like it has no basis in reality.
Yeah.
And so the rumor mill is running. I think that everybody needs to everybody should take a quick step and say, look, this whataboutism and all this stuff, we need to figure out who's going to be the next mayor, who is going to do the best job for Bella Vista. Same thing with the council members. Who accurately represents me in my ward and has the political, I'm not even going to say political, because these are nonpartisan positions. Who has the same interests in Bella Vista that I have, right? Whose values reflect my values? That's what you should really be asking, right? Who's going to look out for my children? Who's going to look out for my community? Who's going to ensure that, I don't go falling down in a ravine and go missing for a year, right? Just saying, man, that happened. And you know what? You did a story. I'm sorry, got to throw the stones. You did a story, but there has not been any update on if that was confirmed to be the man or not, right?
Yeah. Lack of follow through.
Lack of follow through, man. It's the thing I've been saying this whole time. Is lack of follow through with all of these departments. And it all rolls up to one man, the mayor of Bella Vista, Peter Christie. So think about that whenever you go to the ballot box on December 6th, right? Do you want somebody who's going to have follow through, or somebody who's going to just be asleep at the wheel?
Yeah. Yeah. I want people. I don't care about party affiliation. I want someone
Right.
that's honest, that has integrity, and is willing to stand up for what they believe, and not just,
Right.
get in those meetings. We watch it. We watch the work sessions, man. They just crumble. They just, people don't speak up.
Yeah.
They just, oh, okay, well, I'll take your side, and that's,
Or they let somebody
that's a shame.
dominate the conversation and they don't get a word in since, I mean, you got to be
Right.
an assertive leader on top of it.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you represent the people of Bella Vista, man, and you got to do what's right by them. So, I hate to go back in this, man. I'm struggling with it. I don't know why nobody else has brought this up, but the two locations that we talked about at the top of the show, that's a big problem for me, man. I want to see those votes. I really do, and I'll tell you why. It's because you look at some of these percentages here. If you scroll back up to the Merrill numbers there, 44.46%. Those two locations, I wouldn't bet. Go ahead.
Back up one. Look at election day numbers, because these are the numbers that are accurately reflecting, right? So election day numbers for actual how many votes came in on election day? 5,215, right? They have undervote, so I don't know what the undervote thing is, but 5,717 votes total on election day. Early vote was already done, right? Absentees already done. So these ballot locations had to handle 5,700 people.
Yeah. Now let's back up a little bit. Now let's look at Randy's 44 point. Look at, man. You can tell me the X-Files all you want. I see this stuff happen across the country. I can't let this go. I'm not gonna let it go. Well, because I'll tell you right now, he had 6173, right? Over 800 votes on that brings him over 50%. Another 810 votes brings him over the 50 percentile. I want to know, I have a right to know what the hell happened over there. It might be legitimate, but I want to know.
Well, you think that there would be a chain of custody, though, right? Okay, we closed our doors. We closed. Some poll watcher has to say, yes, they locked the doors at 7:30. So nobody else was allowed in the building after 7:30. Cool beans, right? All right. So when was the last vote cast? Surely you could get some information off the last ballot, the computer system where they read the votes. When was the last ballot that flew through that machine? Right? How many ballots were counted after 7:30 p.m.? Right?
No. Now, it doesn't mean... Now,
are there cameras in the locations? What time did the ballot box leave the building? Surely there's an escort of some type, right?
Right.
It's not just Joe driving with a box of ballots in his car and nobody else is watching Joe.
Right. I just don't... This is how I look at this. I mean, one of them was up in Highlands. Nobody else had a problem at the other polling centers in Bella Vista, except for Highlands. Right. It's just odd for me. I got a trouble wrapping my head around it. So I want to know exactly how many votes came out of there for the election day votes is one. I know there's not going to be a lot of Centerton, but hell, I went down to Centerton and I was at Bella Vista. So you have every right to vote in Bentonville or Bella Vista, wherever it is.
Anywhere in Benton County, man. Anywhere in Benton County.
Absolutely. So I'd like to know. I actually like to dig into a little bit more, and if it doesn't add up to me, I like to look at those votes. I'd like to see what happened to them and how they were compiled.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that the location had more than these numbers, right? Because they had people from Gravette probably coming to vote in Gravette stuff who live close, Hiwassee, the whole 9 yards, right? But this is information that should be readily available to the Election Commission. And I'm sorry if you have a location those two locations, when you called to say, hey, what's going on? They said, we're waiting on two locations to come in, right? That's what they were waiting on, those two locations. The question begs, what happened at those two locations that it took them 3 hours, 3.5 hours to come in? I don't know. I don't know when the last person finished voting. So that should be something that they should be able to provide at least a statement on.
They should have made a statement before. Nobody's brought this up, Chris. Nobody's brought this up yet. It could be, listen, I asked the commissioner, I asked them the same thing Tuesday night. I said, what was the reason why it was so late? They couldn't answer it. So If they can't answer it, then the people of Highlands got to answer it, or people at the polling center needs to answer it. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
There could be a legitimate reason. I don't know, but it just sounds a little whacked out to me. I called them at 9:30. They told me it was going to be there. I had to call them back at 10:45, and they just showed up. The polls closed at 7:30. Even if you gave them another hour and a half, that brings you to 9:00.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Where were they for another hour and a half? Great, it takes
except
20 minutes to drive there.
It looks like Wendy has commented on our Facebook. Hi, Wendy. How are you? 11:29. She commented 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry, I wasn't monitoring this chat over here.
Hi, Wendy.
My bad. But yeah, it looks like 11:29 early voting starts. I think that was something that you were going to go out and get information, and we're going to try to distribute that as well. Is where are these locations at in Bella Vista? I don't think that information has been provided to anybody yet. So we need to reach out and ask them where is these locations.
If they hadn't made a decision yet, Chris, I please don't.
Not Highlands.
Highlands.
Right. Right. I don't know, man. If you just look at the numbers for election day, or the total numbers, which I think the numbers are actually pretty decent. In 2020, when they did the census, Bella Vista had a little over 30,000 people
right.
total, right? And the total number of votes cast in this was 15,112 votes. So that's roughly 50. Is that right? Yeah, roughly 50% of our population voted in this election. And there was one other comment that you made I wanted to address. That was, it doesn't really matter your party affiliation or if you are Democrat, Republican, historically or whatnot. I'll echo that, man, because I voted a spread. I'm not, the whole vote red or vote blue. We've seen that time and time again, and people making up an assumption about a nonpartisan race, but this person, leans left or leans right. Right? You got to vote your heart, and you got to vote what this person like. That's the beauty of us interviewing all these people. Is like we have had a chance to sit down and analyze their thought process. We've asked them all basically the same questions. And I'm sorry, man, the old saying, you can't BS a BSer. That's a hard one to do with me, man. I'm pretty good at reading people, man. I'm sorry. Yep. Okay. But you know what I mean? That's something that, I encourage everybody to go out and read or watch these interviews again before the 29th if you're going to early vote. It looks like Randy Murray has left a comment on Facebook Live. He called the clerk's office and they said all 3 locations in Bella Vista will be open for 12/6 voting. So all 3 locations. So I guess that would be, was it Highlands?
Yeah, New Life.
And what was the third location?
It's not Bernard's, is it? Is it Catholic Church?
Yeah, I think it was Bernard's.
St. Bernard's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went up to that church across from Starbucks in Caddy Corner from Walgreens in Bentonville and voted.
Okay.
It was pretty quick experience for me. Not too bad.
Yeah, I told you I went. What was it? I went. Was it Friday or whatever? I was out and I tried to get it in Centerton. I was over there. I just couldn't get in there, man. It was packed, and I tried Bentonville over on Southeast 28th Street and didn't have any luck there. So I had to go, man. So I ended up going to New Life. It looks like
St. Bernard's is confirmed as a location. So those will be the 3 locations. Cool, man. So we know.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. They're Randy Murray for Bella Vista Mayor, already doing a great service for people in this community, helping them find information. And we do appreciate your call on Tuesday night, kind of giving us some clarity on that whole 50% rule. Which I think in a 3-way race, man, that's got to just throw some more complications in there. But the rule is the rule. I guess it's the state rule, and it's been around for a while. So
over 50% or a 20% spread, man, and I think that really needs to be taken a look at. To be perfectly honest with you, I think here's my problem with it: you get another bite at the apple, man.
Yeah, and historically on runoffs, the number turnout is lower, so that the the biggest message that needs to go out to everybody is got to stay on your neighbors. You got to remind them, look, man,
Right.
this is important to the future of Bella Vista. This is important to you. This is important to your children, your grandchildren, if they decide to move here. Get out and vote. Go and vote. Go and vote. A lot of people are just going to be like, I mean, I'm sorry. I was a little burnt out after this election cycle too, man. But I'm going to be out voting. You can bet your booty I'll be out there voting.
Yeah,
I'll give somebody a ride if they need a ride to the polling locations. Call me. Email me. Let me know. We'll go together. We'll get lunch afterwards. Something,
Yeah. We'll just have to stay on top of it and just continue to promote it all the way through. I know people are going to be, the good thing about it is there'll be some early voting. So we should have a pretty good opportunity to get into the polls. Everybody gets to vote. So.
Yeah, I guess the one question that I have is, man, it looks like Facebook is doing its thing to us again, but YouTube's looking pretty solid. So if we're getting a little bit of a buffer on the Facebook, it's the overlords, man. They don't like us that much, and it is what it is. But the one thing I'm curious about is where are all the Burke votes going to go? Like, that's the question I have. Is like, where were the Burke? What is your feelings? Do you think that those people are just going to like not go and vote? Because I mean, it is a runoff, man. So historically, runoff numbers are way lower than the regular election. So
yeah, it's going to be an interesting dynamic there, Chris. Maybe we should reach out to Steve and talk to him and see where he stands with it.
I mean, we can try to reach out to him again.
I think at the end of the day, we got to stand behind. I feel a candidate that's going to do the best for Bella Vista, and I think we know who that is.
Absolutely, Randy. I can give you a ride, man. I can give you a ride to go vote. Absolutely, sir.
So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I'll be interested. You know what? I'll reach out to him again. I'll reach out to Steve again.
I'd just like to get the take on it. I mean, this is politics. I understand it. I mean, basically. And I don't hold anything against him personally at all either, other than the fact that like you didn't want to sit down and talk with us. And it might be that we were, we seemed hostile. We're not hostile to nobody, man. We're just direct and forthcoming, and we're opinionated,
Yeah.
So, but if there's something on your mind, the door is always open. You're still a councilman until the beginning of the year, and if there's something that you want to speak your mind. Door is always open. Our emails are on the screen. You got a direct line to us in Facebook Messenger. Reach out, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
That goes for anybody, basically, man. We're here to talk with anybody.
Yeah, and we love to have the rest of these candidates on. And the ones that didn't make it, thanks for putting your hat in there and doing your best. And we appreciate it,
Well, what an exciting time to be in Bella Vista, man. I mean, it really is. This is a historical time. It's an exciting time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm ready to turn the page, man, and go to the next chapter of living in Bella Vista. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I think we need a new mayor in place with different ideas and let's
different leadership style
and continue to make it a great place to live. And like you said, our focus needs to be on the future.
Yes, it does. I know we bring up the past a lot. It's hard to not bring up the past.
Yeah.
But I don't think the past will hurt as much when we have a bright future.
Absolutely. Well, that's it, brother.
That's
I appreciate
it. Short show tonight, y'all. See, we got some people tuned in and stuff. It looks like we got a total of 8 on one platform, another 6 on another platform, and who knows if these numbers are right. The overlords like to control them. But we appreciate everybody's support. We will be back with a regular show next week. I think we've got some pretty good interviews lined up for next week. Some stuff that's not politics, but if there is a politician in there, don't hate us, okay? This is important to all of us.
Absolutely.
Happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there, my brothers and sisters in arms, and anybody serving. heart goes out to you as well.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right. See ya.
I'm not afraid to take a stand, take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand, come take my hand. We'll walk this road together, through the storm, whatever weather, cold or warm. Standing up, you're not alone. If you feel like you've been down the same road.